Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the video. This is another paid request, this time for Heart of the Cards. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. They're pretty much under any of these videos. Could be for pretty much anything. Now, this is for the episode KillerWatt from the real Ghostbusters. Now, I've said before, I didn't grow up with that cartoon, but I knew of it. I'd seen bits and pieces of it. And throughout the years, I've seen a few episodes and have enjoyed it. This was a lot of fun. This was a very fast-paced, energetic, no pun intended, episode. The music, I love the use of the Ghostbusters theme within the episode. A lot of cool different designs of ghosts in this episode alone. Just it deals with power failures going around the city and some electrical wiring. Like, it's a ghost dealing with electricity. So at one point the Ghostbusters go to this mall and there's these different stores and like this hardware store, so everything gets possessed. So you have hand saws and vacuum cleaners and stoves, like all these different type of ghosts. The voice cast, fairly good. I like Lorenzo music as Venkman. I did learn about how apparently, I don't know if this is true, but apparently the reason he got replaced or fired because later on they got Dave Coulier as Venkman, who was in Full House. He was the cut it out guy on Full House, that TV show. Which I thought Lorenzo Music did a much better job. And of course Lorenzo would be the voice of Garfield. Which I know is ironic because Bill Murray would voice Garfield in those live action movies. But the rumor is, and I don't even know if I could say rumor, because the producer of the show, Michael C. Gross, no relation to Michael Gross from Tremors, but Michael C. Gross, like I say, he produced the show. He said, well, talked with Ivan Reitman, and Ivan had a conversation with Bill Murray, and Bill Murray said, how come that guy doesn't sound like me? And then either, I guess, Ivan Reitman said, hey, we need to change this, and get a guy that sounds more like Bill. That's a shitty reasoning. Bill Murray doesn't give a fuck. You think he really gave a fuck about the Ghostbusters cartoon? And Ivan Reitman, rest in peace, man, but if that's true, you overstepped your bounds. And let the show be the show, and Lorenzo Music was a better voice than Dave Coulier. But this is what the producer, Michael C. Gross, said, so I find that bullshit. I mean, obviously Bill Murray doesn't have the power to do it, but for Ivan Reitman to listen to it, like, why? Why would you give a shit? I mean, that's neither here nor there, I guess. You have the guy who voiced, was it Frank Welker? I can't remember his name. The guy who voiced Fred on Scooby-Doo, he voices Ray. Arsenio Hall, I keep forgetting Arsenio Hall was the original voice on this cartoon for Winston. And I think later on they would change his voice, probably because of the Arsenio Hall show, or I don't know if this was before that. Anyway, I don't know, it's like, oh wow, that is Arsenio Hall. I could recognize his voice from Coming to America, and like I said, the Arsenio Hall show. So I like the voice cast. The villain in this is voiced by James Avery. Rest in peace to him. He was Uncle Phil on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but I remember him the most as the Shredder in the original Ninja Turtles cartoon. So it's nice to hear his voice. But like I said, it's a very fast-paced episode. Like I said, there's power failures. There's like a guy working and something, the ghost feeds going through the power line, passes on enough for this thing to become a creature that's ready to attack the guy, but then it keeps going, so the ghost is pulled along with it. You get a little bit of humor between the Ghostbusters and Slimer, dealing with Ray's food, how shitty it is. And again, they're called into arms, and like I said, I like the way they use the music, the theme, Ghostbusters theme, throughout this episode. It gave certain scenes, a lot more excitement and thrills. Venkman actually has stuff to do. He's not a useless character. Because I would think, okay, he's, it's Peter Venkman. He's not going to have much to do. He's just going to say those funny lines. But no, he actually does stuff. He saves Edon. This like stove ghost type of thing. And the way the music's playing. And Venkman shooting the proton pack. There's another bit where the Ectomobile is rolling down. And Venkman gets an idea and able to stop it and save them. So it's nice seeing Venkman being proactive once in a while. That was satisfying to see. So it doesn't make it seem useless. Like I said, all the different varieties of ghosts from in the mall, the stores, and thanks to Venkman and others, they're able to take care of it. The ecto containment system's ready to blow because of this electrical thing, so they have to get Janine, and Edon makes this thing where Janine has to power it by bicycling, putting the pedal to the metal on this. And I knew they were going to come back to that. I'm like, this is going to be a joke at the end, right? And it was. But it was still a funny enough joke, where they save the day, and then they're like, oh shit, we forgot about Janine. So I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, I could see it coming, but I thought it still worked out. Even the Ecto-1 itself becomes a ghost. I thought that was a cool, interesting design with where the eyes were, and nice creativity in the designs of some of these ghosts. And you have this KillerWatt creature, and then does it possess like this engine thing, power plant? I don't know how to put it. Like, just the point there's like a grand scale, so the Ghostbusters look so small compared to this gigantic figure that has possessed this thing made all of metal, and I don't know how to describe it. Almost like a cousin of that TikTok metal thing in Return to Oz. I don't know how else to put it. C-3PO's brother. And his army feeds on electricity, and they have to go stop it and kick some ass. I thought the ending was a bit lame, though. That the way they defeat it is there's one plug-in, and Slimer pulls the plug. I thought, okay, that's pretty lame. There should be a lot more intricate stuff, or a bit more planning where they all have to do something, or I don't know, they all have to blast a certain section, and like, Slimer, you pull that, and we have to shoot each of this stuff and collapse the grid, or at least shut the thing down, or cut the ties to his power. Like, maybe there's this electrical stuff that he's holding, we gotta cut the ties to his power, and then he gets weak enough for us to blast it. I wish there was something more with all of them working together, and something a bit more complicated than just Slimer pulling a plug. Yeah, I thought that was kind of lazy. That's really my only issue with the episode. But other than that, I still thought it was a fun episode. Yeah, nice use of the music, good voice work, and a lot of fun, a lot of action, and a lot of designs. I thought the Ecto-1 ghost could be used a lot more, because it gets possessed, drives at them a little bit, then hits like a light post. I think that should have been a longer scene, where the Ghostbusters having it being chased by the Ecto-1 a lot more, or at least a little bit more. Like maybe it's crashing through this abandoned warehouse or something, and they have to get out of the way. I wish that was used a bit more. So my only two pet peeves is I wish there was more to the ending than just pulling a plug, and I wish the Ecto-1 possessed ghost was utilized a little bit more, a little bit longer, a little bit more running time. But in that, very solid, fun episode. Definitely, of the few that I've seen, it's definitely one of my favorites, and a lot of fun. Again, nice to see Venkman have something to do and be proactive. And definitely a worthy episode. Definitely a fun episode. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.